What's up, everyone? We're back for the last part of the Chakra Logic series. It's pretty dang cool. It's been a fun 7 videos, 7 plus, I should say. And look who's still here. We still got this snake skin, which is very symbolic with the Kundalini. Maybe I'll talk about the Kundalini on the next video to kind of wrap it all up. But the snake and the Kundalini go hand in hand, as the snake is the physical representation of the energy wave. I'm gonna set this back down here. But hope everyone's doing well out there. Thank you for clicking on the video, whoever you are, wherever you are, however you are, whenever you are, checking out this video. Thank you for looking at it. I hate to do promo stuff, but hey, if you like this stuff, like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. And we'll keep it rolling. There's much more to come. Okay, so the Crown Chakra, let's get into the functions. So your Crown Chakra is your connection to the infinite, everything, the stars, right? Endless possibilities, your thoughts, the world of imagination and all of the ideas and everything in the world. There's so many movies and there's so many stories. There's so much of everything. So many characters and everything. It's such an awesome part of our existence, the fact that there's an infinite aspect of it, right? Just like I mentioned in the last video about the third eye and how it connects us with the night, the stars in the night, and how during the day we don't see the stars, but the stars are ever present. But during the daytime, we don't see them, right? It's just like how we use these two eyes and how we have another eye. There's a world present that governs everything that we see. If we only thought that this was it and the sky was it, we wouldn't understand anything about the planets, the stars, or what's actually making things move around here. So it's good for us to have that understanding that there is an underlying aspect that is unseen to the naked eye, that really governs everything. And being in tune with that helps us to be in tune more with our nature, because we are the whole thing. So your Crown Chakra, it's really cool. So when it's activated, when it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's what keeps you, it's what allows you to experience bliss. It's what allows you to experience like true happiness and an inner happiness all within yourself. You start to become less of a part of everything and more of a party. You kind of, it's that whole aspect of it. It's being able to enjoy and being able to, kind of really have fun and let go of a lot of the drama and everything, and being able to kind of just be in tune with that sense of self that is infinite. Let me see, I got a few notes I'm gonna refer back to. Let's see. Yeah, so it is that crown energy that goes upward. It's located up here, right at the top where the as a baby, there's a most of y'all know that there's a gap in the center of your skull when you're a child, and it's like the soft spot that forms later, and this is where your Crown Chakra is. It is an energy that goes upward. Like when you look at the royal crowns, they always point upwards, as well as like a tiara, and how like when you see a water drop hit a surface, it creates like a little bit of a crown, like if in slow motion you'll see it forms like a crown around it. And it's kind of like representation of the higher self, the pure consciousness coming to us. And it honestly is just a drop, how they say we're just like a drop in the ocean kind of thing. Like the power that exists outside of us is just so massive and so great, and it's so beautiful. And we are, representations of it, like on a very smaller level. But so yeah, that the color of it is this violet color. This is like the only violet thing I have, and it's a sweater, so it's far too hot for me to wear it for y'all in the regular way, so I'm wearing it like this. But and the way I see the Crown Chakra energy is that pure light. like the sun, anytime you see light like this, you know, we have color and everything too, you know, but when you see pure light like the sun, where it has this kind of like prismatic like ring around it, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm seeing. I don't know if I'm doing a good job being a selfie cameraman. But when you see it on other surfaces, right, like these cars over here, how you can see the reflections kind of bouncing off the surfaces of the car as they turn, and each of those reflections are that pure light. It's that pure white. It's the kind of white that you can't like look. You can't look in it. You know what I'm saying? You can't like really look in it. There's not really like a color to be seen, more so than just a reflection. Just like how you see the reflections of all those things. It's those little specks, just like you see like on the water. The reflection, when you see on top of waves and ripples, those like light little reflections, you know, they're all just like pure light. You know, it's not really like a color. They all are like little stars, like little portals and stuff. I love that. I love that. Is that crown chakra energy. That is that light, that pure, the pure energy, you know, this kind of light that shadows cannot exist within, because it's that strong, you know. Let's see. So, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so your crown chakra is what connects you to the divine. It's what, you know, produces your aura, your aura. You know, it's what connects you to your super consciousness, you know, your super ego, your higher self, the God self, you know, whatever you want to call it, the self that's the aspect of life that goes beyond just here, you know, just the finite. Like I said, it's the infinite, right? The multiple lifetimes that we talk about or that we hear, you know, the past lives and everything. It's what connects you to that. It's what gives us this intrinsic feeling that we are a soul inside of a body, rather than just a body having an experience, you know. There's an aspect of us that we know we're not going to die. There's an aspect of us that, even though you close your mouth and you close your eyes, you still experience, right? You can still hear in silence. You can hear what somebody said to you before. You can hear it in their voice. You can hear it with your voice. You can hear not just voices, but you can hear other sounds in your mind without actually hearing them presently, you know. You can speak to yourself in your mind, you know. There's a lot of aspects of us that exist not just here, that we've always had, you know. It's just your connection to your consciousness, that inner consciousness that tells you to get up or do this or do that, you know. That is your higher consciousness, like talking to you, you know. A lot of us just choose to blow it off, you know, as it's just like an inner thought or something. But, you know, you have that. And before on the sacral chakra, I talked about your instincts, like in your gut, the ones that tell you when it's enough and when enough is enough, and, you know, if you're going too far. It's like that part too. That's like your instinct. But you do have your higher consciousness, which goes beyond that, which kind of tells you a little bit of going beyond logical reasoning in a lot of ways, which gives you advice or tells you to do this, tell you, hey, go talk to this person. Yeah, there's a connection right there. Go talk to that person. You know, you know, like kind of being able to follow those flows. It's almost like in the video game Fable, where there's like this like golden, like between your missions, there's like a little golden light trail that kind of helps the player to find their way in the game, to make it a little easier. And it's kind of like having a little bit of that. It's being able to be in tune with that golden trail that the universe is kind of setting up for you as like in divine timing, you know, and being able to like hone in on that and have that connection to it, which is the infinite possibilities, going beyond just like logic. Let's see. So last few things I'll say about it, the functions of it. Okay. So it provides us with a knowing beyond belief. So, you know, we have a lot of belief systems here. There's a lot of different religions. There's a lot of different, you know, things that people believe about the world. However, we all do succumb to a certain truth, you know. We all are humans. We all do need air to breathe. We all need water, you know. However, as far as how we, as humans, want to label everything and describe everything, a lot of us have different versions of what's going on here, and that's totally fine. But it can make for a lot of confusion. So when you are in tune with your crown chakra, you will have your own knowing. You'll have your own knowing that goes well beyond belief, because you have been able to experience that bliss or have tapped into that infinite. You've had an experience like that. So those kind of moments change people's lives. People have near-death experiences and their lives are changed because they did go to a little place for a moment in time, or did get a glimpse at what was going on, behind the scenes. So having that knowing is not anything that somebody can believe to be in that kind of space. Just like in the latest Bad Boys, when Martin Lawrence, he had like a panic attack or whatever, and he like died and then came back and knew he wasn't gonna die. And so he was just like guru, kind of like energy when he came back, just because he had a knowing. It was beyond fear. When you have that knowing, it's well beyond fear. And there's a bliss that kind of comes with that. There's a bliss that comes along with that. However, when you're in that state of bliss, you can't really be here physically too well, It's like kind of being, you're here, right? And sometimes if you're too busy here, the finite, you're not going to even be able to experience this. But this is like that bliss that it's almost kind of a little bit of a feminine energy, where it's like you kind of just are enjoying your vibe and enjoying yourself. And it's not, you can't really ground yourself too much. You can't really do work and work out, or definitely not be on computers. You definitely can't do anything like too logical, because it's going to kind of throw off. It's going to kind of make you have to come down here more, as opposed to just being in the moment and being in bliss. And just honestly, when you're in that kind of space, all you want to do is just hang out with people and talk with people and enjoy it and let them enjoy you. And you're kind of like, it's a little bit of that, what the party's about, It's a little bit of why we like to enjoy ourselves, or feel like, celebration, of life. Let's see, all these functions, honestly, and I kind of am talking more about the functions on this one than I am going to talk about the other stuff, just because I do feel like if you get to this point, then a lot of the imbalances kind of come from, other chakras needing to be tuned a little bit more. So last thing I'm gonna say is about that whole space of kind of being in that little enjoyment space where you can't really work too well in there. So it's good to kind of have moments where you go there, but it's also kind of our work here on the third to be able to, focus, as well. So, that's kind of the la la land energy, it's kind of when people are in their own like little worlds and everything. You can't really, when you're in that kind of energy, it's not really, kind of workhorse energy type stuff. I would also classify it as triumph, like I mentioned before in the, I think Death is the Wife of Life video. I would mention it in triumph. That whole pure energy, that's triumph. That's triumph. That's well beyond our little measly lifetimes here, right? That we go through. The sun has been around for eons, right? The sun's been around for ages, for as long as longer than man's been here, right? The sun's been providing life for plants from here all the way to the other side of the world in China, all over it. Like literally every island that you can think of, every little crevice of a cave, and all the stuff in the sea that needs the sunlight. Everything, all generated by this thing that you're looking at right here. The same thing. It's not one of many. It's literally one of one. That type of energy is what we're connected to through here. We get like a little, like that droplet. We just get like a little droplet. But it's so much more beyond all of this dumb ass human drama, all the stuff that we put each other through, trying to make money off each other and trying to exploit each other and one another. And it's been going on for ages, where people have been killed and murdered and traumatized for all sorts of stuff, right? For control. So being able to go beyond that is that triumph. It's like having that knowing that just, despite all of the bullshit that life, all the hoops that it makes us go through, there is something much greater that is the truth than what people do here. you know, to each other. So once you can fully know that, and once you can fully understand that, that's when you will be in that bliss. That's when you will know, you know, you will know true bliss. Not just because, you know, something good happened, and even though when something good does happen or you have a breakthrough, you know, those are moments of bliss, you know, but, you know, that's a reflection of the true bliss that you get from your true breakthrough, you know. So yeah, okay, so that's the functions. Let's get into the imbalances a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. I had a long last one, so yeah. So as far as imbalances, being delusional, you know, a lot of people will get stuck in their own world and be in la la land, but they'll be in an imbalanced la la land. You know, they'll be in their own little world that they created and it's at the expense of other people. You know, it's at other people not living their truths and so forth. So you can, you know, so certain people can continue to live their fantasy, you know, but in an imbalanced way, you know. Also, people being fearful of death, you know, feeling like death is something that's wrong, you know, feeling like, you know, still having a detachment to death, or still not having a full understanding of the full circle, you know, and what part death plays. And death is just a release of all this bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, geez, you know, how much do you want me to work? Jeez, you know. Yeah, so feeling like that there's something wrong with death, and everything will block your third chakra, because you're not your crown chakra, because you're not going to be able to get past your third eye chakra to experience that letting go, you know, because every time that you'll get to that door, you'll be like, nah, I can't do it, it's too much. Also, I meant to mention this in the functions, but like heavy is the crown, you know, they say that heavy is the crown. And when you have all this energy in your body that all goes up here, and when you can focus it up here, that energetic pressure is so strong. It's so strong. It'll feel like there's literally a whole weight on your body. It'll feel like somebody just put weight on your body, and you're just like, trying to like hold this weight, and your whole body will be feeling heat. It'll be feeling like somebody just turned the gravity up. You're just like, oh, what is this? You know? But it's your crown, like chakra energy. You gotta push and push and push through. But you know, not everyone has had that experience. Some of this, my spiritual, you know, spirit fam and all y'all, some of y'all advanced ones and stuff, y'all felt that, y'all know that, you know, already. But that's also something, you know, heavy is the crown. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of energy up there. And kind of opening that gate can be, you know, intense, especially for a lot of people, especially for some people that aren't, you know, in tune with that. It's your antenna, you know. This is like your antenna that's receiving and putting out, but, you know, receiving more so. But just like, you know how bugs have their antennas, you know, and those aren't necessarily, those are like exorcists. Imagine if humans had antennas. These are my little antennas. These are my like little butterfly antennas. That's why I got them. But yeah, imagine having antennas and what those antennas could actually feel, you know, outside of your five senses, you know. So if you think about that, that would kind of give you a little bit more of an understanding of your crown chakra a little bit. Let's see, other imbalances. Let's get into it. Feeling like there's something wrong, you know, kind of being in like a living hell. You know, some people are in a living hell on earth. You know, some people are in a space where, you know, they think that everything is wrong and that this whole planet and everything is hell, and that there's like you know, that the devil is running things, and, you know, that this is all evil and bad and stuff. And, you know, people won't, their crown chakra won't be in balance. You know, they have lost that sense of triumph. They have lost that sense of oneness with everything, and just having a severe sense of disconnect, and feeling like they are just, here to at the expense of something else and has nothing to do with them. Some people have lost that whole aspect of life. Let's see, having to disconnect to your consciousness, having to disconnect to that inner thought, that inner voice in your head, having a disconnection to what the God force is, whatever you want to call it, having a sense of having a disconnection to that there's anything greater than you and than your experience. These are imbalances in the crown chakra. I'm not here to say, hey, you gotta believe in God. But there's definitely a higher power here, and like I said before, some sperms want to find the egg and some sperms just want to go do their own thing, and I'm not here to stop them. So yeah, ways to, also another imbalance, people keeping your head down. You see people like walking with their head down, doing everything with their head down. That's kind of like your crown chakra is not being activated. Somebody's not in their crown, they're more in their body, or they're more in a lower chakra. So this will kind of lead into the segue into the ways to activate. Walking with your head up, your posture, having good posture helps to balance out your crown chakra. Let's see, what are the other things I put in here? Meditation is a big one. Let's see. Yeah. Meditation is a huge one. Obviously, meditation helps to clear out everything, just like your crown chakra. It's all this energy coming from through here and going downward, like everything pointing to the sun. All the energy is coming down, everything's pointing to the sun. Meditation is huge. Obviously, meditation works for all of them, but it really helps. Clearing out anything is going to help you get to your crown chakra. Let's see, another one, being more comfortable in your presence, being a little kind of towing the line between conscious and subconsciousness in your presence, being able to kind of step back a little bit from how you control this vehicle or this vessel, allowing it to kind of be in the flow, but also kind of allowing yourself to experience the flow and be consciousness of the flow within you. There's aspects of things that there's things that you do often, and you can do those things without having to think about them. Especially if you work the same job and you do the same stuff, you can easily be thinking about other stuff as you're working. You can kind of get into that flow space. So sometimes it's good to tap into that flow space even when you're not doing something. Just being able to slow down, kind of take a gander, take a look, take it all in as like one thing sometimes, and getting back into that oneness, getting back into that, okay, I am one with it all, and let me flow with it all a little bit more, and getting out of that ego death. The ego death, like I mentioned before, it's a really good thing. Being able to have that part of the three, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the end being that ego death between different moods. When you're like doing something, you're like, I want to finish this how I want to finish it, or I want to do this how I want to do it, and it'll be kind of hard to get to the next space. You might waste a lot of time in your day trying to get from one thing to another, because of your ego space or being out of a mood. Something can take you out of your mood and it'll throw off your whole day. And a lot of times everybody just wants to kind of get out of that space and get back into a spot where they're productive. It can be really tough. But that ego death is a mug. But if you get good at it, I promise you'll be a lot quicker, to kind of get on to the next thing and being able to be a little bit ahead and being a little bit more emotionally mature too. Or emotionally like witty, more so than just mature. You'll be mature, but more so in a way that where you're like emotionally savvy, where you can kind of be able to kind of play with the ego death and be able to kind of switch between things a little bit more and not get so attached to how you feel, in certain moments. But yes, back to ways to balance out this, I would say also, the party side, right? Like being able not just say, oh, we'll go party and go drink and, everything, but more so about like celebrating life, being able to be in a space where you can, and a frequency where you can celebrate life, perhaps take a vacation if you haven't vacation or if you haven't traveled, go in a space, go to a space where you're not working and you're not having to be on the third as much, and that you're able to just flow and enjoy, where you are in your presence. What was the last thing I was gonna say? I don't want this to go too long. It's already like 25 minutes. Last thing I'll say. Microdosing. Microdosing is a good way to kind of tap into your crown chakra and get into that space where you are a little bit more relaxed and you can kind of appreciate and enjoy what you're doing rather than having to, do something or focus on the work or focus on, being in some of the lower chakras, being able to just like open up a little bit more and being in tune with that oneness, not being caught up in a drama or ego, trip, being able to just be one with it all, but also having that bliss, being in a space where you can like enjoy it, have that childlike laughter, that childlike bliss to things sometimes, and being able to just have a heartfelt laugh with some friends and being able to like play off of that, sometimes microdosing is good to kind of remind you a little bit of what life's about and to kind of get out of that third dimensional rat race sometimes, get a little bit more in tune with nature. So I hope that helps y'all. This has been our Chakra Logic series. We are done for now, but this has been really awesome. If you watched every little bit, if you've heard every word, if you made it all the way to this point, thank you so much. Really, truly thank you. And I'm happy that I can provide some value and hopefully open up some doors in your mind and allow you to kind of see life in a more vast way. So with that being said, we'll have more to come, but this is our Chakra Logic. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all around soon.